Imagine a 12-hour shift where your boss tells you to, like, feed their kid exactly 9 grapes. Not 10, just exactly 9.
Yeah, that is, I mean, it's just wild.
Right. Well, today we are doing a deep dive into the, honestly, kind of lawless reality of ultra-wealthy mega mansions.
Definitely.
You might envy the billionaire lifestyle from afar, but by the end of this, you will probably be so grateful for your normal, drama-free home.
Because that illusion of perfection in these estates, it takes a massive amount of invisible labor. And we are seeing the reality of that labor in a recent lawsuit from a celebrity housekeeper.
Right, yeah.
She alleges a work environment that goes, honestly, way beyond just being demanding. We're talking about having physical objects thrown at
Like
her.
hangers, right.
Exactly, hangers,
Uh-huh.
along with severe discrimination just for being Salvadorian and Catholic.
Man, it's like a 5-star hotel. Like, the lobby is pristine, but you push through those swinging doors into the kitchen, and it's just absolute chaos.
That is a perfect way to put it. And the financial and logistical demands on the staff are just staggering. Like, this housekeeper was reportedly ordered to travel and clean a high-profile boyfriend's house,
Mm-hmm.
Timothée Chalamet's estate in this case. And she had to do it completely on her own dime with no travel reimbursement at all.
Wait, really? She's cleaning a totally different celebrity's home and paying for her own gas?
Yeah.
How does a boss even get away with that? Are these employers just, fundamentally out of touch with basic labor laws? Or does extreme wealth create some sort of reality distortion field?
Well, I mean, it's the physical isolation that really creates that distortion. In a typical corporate office, human resources acts as a buffer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But when a private estate operates as an employer, that buffer just vanishes. Like California law, specifically the Fair Employment and Housing Act, it strictly protects workers and staffs of 5 or more.
Okay, right.
But practically speaking, the person signing your check also controls the massive iron cage,
Right.
They control your schedule and your entire isolated environment.
Wow. Yeah, there is literally no HR department down the hall to complain to when a hanger gets thrown at your head.
Exactly. And this total lack of oversight, it doesn't just enable toxic bosses. It actually leads to severe neglect of the physical estates themselves.
Right, because these massive homes aren't regulated or inspected like traditional workplaces, right?
Yeah.
So the environment itself can become a literal hazard.
Yep. And the employer in that very same lawsuit actually claims her mansion is haunted.
Wait, haunted, seriously.
Seriously. She's reported loud drum-like bangs in the walls and objects just falling in closets. Her sister reportedly fled the house in the middle of the night out of pure terror.
Which sounds exactly like a horror movie setup.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it closely mirrors that infamous Hollywood mansion once owned by Britney Spears.
Oh, right, I remember that.
Yeah, she fled her estate, literally leaving everything behind because she claimed she was being terrorized by bad spirits trying to push her down the stairs. And then she sold that house to Brittany Murphy. And tragically, Murphy later collapsed and died in that exact master bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
And her husband died in the same room just months later, both from acute pneumonia and severe anemia.
See, it is incredibly easy to get swept up in the ghost stories, especially with that kind of tragic history.
Oh, for sure.
But realistically, these are massive, sprawling properties that were built incredibly fast.
Yeah.
So are we sure this isn't just, severe structural failure? Like, couldn't a ghost banging on a wall just be a faulty pipe? Or worse, dangerous black mold?
That is precisely the mechanism at play here. Prolonged exposure to toxic black mold, specifically strains like Stachybotrys chartrum.
Uh-huh.
It does way more than just damage your lungs. It actually triggers severe neurological inflammation.
Wait, really? Neurological?
Yes, that physical swelling impacts the brain, and it can cause extreme hallucinations, insomnia, and intense paranoia.
So the environment itself is literally generating the ghosts.
Basically, yes. When you combine massive, poorly ventilated architecture that is super difficult to fully inspect with extreme stress and isolation,
Right.
biological hazards are incredibly easy to misinterpret as hauntings. A luxury home can just quietly transform into a severe health hazard.
Man, it's like building a high-tech submarine to escape the rest of the world, but completely forgetting to check if the air filters work.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you are listening to this deep dive in your perfectly normal, maybe slightly messy apartment, just, take a breath.
Absolutely. Extreme wealth might buy the fortress, but it clearly doesn't buy immunity from biology or basic labor laws. The money insulates you, but it also really isolates you from reality checks.
Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over. If you had endless wealth, would building a massive, isolated fortress actually protect you from the outside world? Or would it simply trap you inside with your own physical and psychological blind spots?